very excited to be finally able to do this piece, the Liebestraum number 3 by Liszt. This is a big year. We've already done the Debussy Reverie, right? We're doing this one now. Next comes the Consolation by Liszt, then Prelude number 5 in G minor by Rachmaninoff, the final fast movement of the Moonlight Sonata. Some big things coming. I think it's going to be very fun and worthwhile. I'm pretty stoked. Okay, now with this piece, I'll play the first little section for you so you're a little bit, you're reminded of the music and what it sounds like. And then I'm going to break up the layers such that it's very clear how to be the architect in this music. It's somewhat dense, and I really want to take my time and make sure everything's understandable for everybody that tries this piece. Okay, first I'll play it for you, the first major phrase, and then I'll jump into the tutorial and show you how to play it yourself. Here we go. This is what it sounds like. Stop for now. Okay, so what I'll do to begin this piece is I'll give you both the hands at the same time so you can see the way the hands are trading off playing the theme, the melody. Right? We have 3 layers to think about: the bass, the melody, which sits in the middle, kind of like a cello line, and then in the top of the right hand we have broken chords, very simple broken chords that create the kind of harmonic tapestry over which those melodic notes sit. Okay. So before I get into that, of course, I invite you to subscribe to the channel if you find this is worthwhile, if you find this to be productive stuff. Subscribe, hit that little notification bell. It really means a lot to the channel. If you do that, it shows the algorithm of YouTube that you find this worthwhile and worth promoting. And so it helps me a lot. Let's get into it. Let me jump in with the left hand. We have a pickup that leads you to the very first note of this music. Melodic note, right? Kind of consider that a piece of the melody as well. Right? Right. So it's the thumbs between the hands that tend to carry these melodic lines. So, little by little, we begin with 2 as a pickup to this. 5 in the left, 1 in the right. Once you sit on this, the thumb has to be a little louder than everything else, so it sings. Then we have the broken chord above that creates the harmonic backdrop. So that's 2, 4, 5. Back down the same way. Very simple. The artistry in this music is really how to voice that middle to sit above everything else. Moving on, we're going to have the exact same note but played with the left hand. I think you do it with the right hand as well, but in the music that I have in front of me, it suggests that I do it with the left. So they both work. We have this, moving on. Very simple. The right hand on top repeats. We just have a trading of thumbs. Once more. Easy enough, right? To give you a little bit of rhythmic scaffolding here, we are in 6/4 time. So every bar has 6 quarter notes worth of notation. So if I was to count this first bar with this pickup being the final, we'll count this as a 6 and, right? Since a pickup is like the last beat of a bar, we'll have this. 6 and 1 and 2 So what you can find here is that for every eighth note, something is being played. Eighth notes are your scaffolding. So when you're speaking this out loud and when you're learning all of this, everything is 1 and 2 and. There are very few exceptions where you don't have anything on an eighth note that is said. And you'll see as we play through it where those moments are, but there's really not that many of them. So as long as you're counting this way that I just did, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 up to 6, it'll be very easy to keep everything in check. You're always playing in eighths. Okay, moving on to the second bar. Here's the first again, and we move forward. Next bar. Okay, so that's what we're looking at now. So the second bar begins, same fingering as before, 1, 5 in the left, and we have a broken C dominant 7, up and back down, more or less the same, right? So 2, 4, 5, back down, then a rest, and then again. And on the second B flat, we have the left hand play a C, right? So again, as we're coming up, when you play that second B flat, that's where the left hand comes in. One more time, with counts, nice and slow. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and. Not too shabby. Once you get the ball rolling with these types of figurations, the rest of the music becomes easier. So I'm taking my time to make sure that all of this stuff is clear. And as we move forward, we'll speed things up because there's a lot of repeating happening. These 2 bars, sewed up, sounds like this. Nice and slow. Together. Moving on to the next bar. So let's have a look at that. Again, if you're dividing everything into eighths, you're totally fine here. 1 and 2 and, right? There's something on everything that is said. So this next bar begins like this, 5 in the left, 1 in the right. Then another broken chord in the right hand on top. 2, 4, 5, back down. And then again, 2, 4, 5, and back down. Easy enough, right? Now, while you're playing these chords above, you're going to have the left hand take over the melody that was started here by the right hand. Nice and loud. That is what I'm talking about. So, together, and 2, and 3, and. Next, we have a thumb in the left hand, 4, and 5, and 6, and. And as I said before, since this middle section is the melody, it should sing above everything else and be louder than what the right hand is doing. So once more, we have. to the next bar. So that's the kind of falling of this phrase. We have this. You can use a 5 at the bottom or the 4, whatever is more comfortable for you. I tend to use 4. Thumb in the right hand, and then we have this broken chord. We have 2, 4, 5, back down the same way, but I'd recommend ending with a 1 instead of a 2, because this is already kind of hard to do. So as you're doing this, I'd recommend as soon as you finish, allow your hand to pivot so that you can open up. Instead of trying to stretch this way, just pivot across and then use that pivot to be able to reach further than you otherwise would be able to. Pivot. And on the way back, just to simplify things, end with a 1. And then 1. Same notes. And then as you're doing that in the right hand, we'll have the left hand take over the melody. Together. Like that. Very simple, just 2 Fs in the thumb. Let me count all that out. 1 and 2 and 3. 4 and 5 and 6 and all right. From the very beginning, I'll do everything stitched up with counts, and I'm sort of expecting now that you've stopped and played and practiced every little section on its own, and you feel comfortable with each unit, every bar. And now we're here to stitch it up. So 6 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and next 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 1 and pivot 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6, and there you have it, your first 4 bars, the first half of the phrase. All right, so that's not too shabby. The pedal is even simpler, actually. Every bar gets its own pedal, so not much to it there. Meaning, we begin, right? The pedal is down for all of that. Change. Change. And then change. And then we move into the next part. Such a beautiful ending to a phrase. Okay, so that next part we're going to be doing on the website as usual. Come and join. It's free to try the whole thing. You'll have access to everything that I've ever done, including, of course, this entire tutorial, 14 or 7-day trial. It's completely free to go, so why not give it a go? Alrighty, so I'll see you there. And yeah, if you have any questions, let me know in the comments and let me know what you'd like me to do next. I finally have a little bit of time on my hands to do some more serious music, this included, and I look forward to it. All right, see you soon.